Hi, it's Jess here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. And if you hopped around on my blog hop yesterday that I was on with InspireINK, today, as promised, is the tutorial for the Mother's Day card that I made. It's a Z-fold card, so I wanted to do something a bit special for a special occasion. So stay tuned and I will show you how I made this card. So to make this easy, I've created a template which I'll be able to use for future cards, and I've done it differently than the one I've done before, in that I've made it 11 inches this way, so it fits if you've got American card sizes. So you need two pieces of cardstock measuring 11 inches by 4 1/8, which is the half size of A4 for us, but trimmed down to 11 inches. And then this one is 10 inches by 3 1/2. I'm doing the base in extra thick whisper white, but using ordinary whisper white for the top bit. Okay, and I've written the sizes down here because I often read them wrong when I'm doing it, so I've got it written there, so hopefully I won't make the mistake. So we are going to score, so in half is 5 1/2, that's easy maths, and then half of 5 1/2 is 2 3/4. So we're scoring it 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. I went completely off then. And so that is folded in half, folded in half again, but the other way. So we've got our Z, and then for this one we are going to score at 5 inches, and then we're going to score at 7 3/4. And that is going to stick on the front there, and that's going to stick about there. So we will create, that will be stuck down so that those folds meet. So then when it opens up, we've got a nice sort of square in the middle. Okay, so that's the basic Z-ness of the card. And then I wanted to think about the layers, and I want to use the stitched, put that back for now, the stitched rectangles. And what I did when I got the stitched rectangles was I cut them all out, and so that I could see easier, because you could layer it on to think, oh, is that the right size? But you can't actually see where the cut line is. So I've called that number 1. That's the size of number 1, and so it's much easier to look on that, and then you can see what the border is. And I just felt that was an easier way of doing it. So for this back piece, I'm going to do some matting there. The number 4 will mat lovely on these panels here. So I know I want one of them and one of them. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want number 4. Okay, for the top, this one here mats beautifully on that one. I kind of cut it so that it does. So that's number 2. So we'll take that and we're going to use that one. I'm actually going to cut a frame, so I need the next one down. So so those two together will cut a frame. I've actually pre-prepared that one. Okay, so I'm going to have a frame on it, and then I'm going to use this one to cut the DSP. So that's going to go on there, and then it's going to have that in the middle. And then I want to leave that one blank because that's what I'm going to write on. And then this little number 6 will fit in there. I would have liked it to have been slightly bigger, but the next size up, so what we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's number 6 there. The number 5 is too long, so we're going with that one. Okay, so that's just how I've sort of found using these rectangles is quite easy to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some DSP. So I'm using Petal Promenade. I haven't got very much of it left actually, which surprised me because I'm not really sort of into pinks that much, but I seem to have used an awful lot of this paper for somebody who's not into pinks. This of course is my favourite piece, so I'm going to be using one of these, and I'm going to be using this sheet here as well. So it would have been better, that one I think, but we haven't got it. But there's enough in there for that to sort of match up. So what I discovered was that you could cut this out using this framelit, and that's what I'm going to use for the front of the card, and then everything else that's going to mat on the card is going to be cut out of this. And I just think using the framelits gives you a little bit more interest. It means I don't have to mat it. When I've done these before, I've kind of matted with another piece of cardstock, but I'm thinking that this won't need to be matted. So I'm going to get all those cut out and come back to you. So I've cut all of those up, and what I decided to do on here was to sort of imitate that. I've cut a bit of Mossy Meadow cardstock, and that is 2 inches by 3 3/8, so we get a nice little mat like that. Okay, so I am going to stick these down, and then we're going to do what am I going to do? I'll stick all those down, but I'll leave that one unstuck whilst I do some stamping. So I will speed it up whilst I do my sticking. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on that first. Oh, I haven't stuck this down. Oops. So yes, I'm going to do the stamping before I stick it down. I want to stick that panel down before I do the frame. Okay, so move that to one side, and I'm just going to stamp directly in that. And I'm going to use the Incredible You, and I'm doing the Hope Your Day is as Amazing as You. So I don't have a Happy Mother's Day stamp, and I thought this would be enough, because we do hope she has an amazing day, and she is amazing. So that fits nicely. So I'm doing it in Mossy Meadow because that's one of the colours in this DSP. So I'm going to line that up there and put that in the middle there, and I've got everything crossed. Yay! That's fine. Okay, and so I'm going to stick that on the panel, and then I'm going to stick the frame around it, and I've kind of done a much more simpler card than this. And what I found was when I did it, I thought, oh, I could add foliage. I've got so many foliage dies that I thought, why not dress it up a bit with some of my foliage dies. So that is what I'm going to do. So I've already cut ready. Put these around. I just love this frame effect. I just think it's gorgeous. It's really weird, isn't it, that we celebrate Mother's Day in the UK on a different day than our American cousins. So, yes, so here's the base. So that is going to get stuck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, because I'm going to stick it so that that fold butts up with that fold, like that. So I'm going to put some glue on that bit and on that bit, so that makes it easy, so that you know where the glue is going. So glue on there and glue on there. Okay, fold that over again, get it the right way up, get it centered where we want it, feel for when those are butted, and stick it down. Might have wanted to go up a bit more, but that's that. So then that'll fit in your normal size envelope, and there we have it. So we've got a nice square there, and it opens up nicely like that, space for writing. You could decorate that and write on the back if you want to, so it's going to kind of look like that when it's on the shelf. So my idea was to decorate this a bit, so I've used this foliage die from Petals and More, and cut myself a sprig, and then I thought that might stick over that nicely. And then this is from Frosted Florals. Where is the Frosted Florals? There. Frosted Bouquet, rather, not Frosted Florals. Frosted Bouquet. So I've used that one there to cut that out. Alright, and so that is going to get stuck going over there, and it doesn't matter if it goes over the top a bit, I just don't want it to go over the side. So that's kind of where I want it to be stuck. And then that one can just kind of go smack in the middle, really. Doesn't matter. That's just to give it a little bit of decoration there. So on this one, you've got these leaves act as good places to put glue. Because they're quite fat leaves. Take some extra glue to anchor it down. And the rest, I'm going to do that trick there. So I'm going to close it up so I can see where it's going to go. And it's going to go like that. And I'm going to get my block in and stick it on there for now. Give it a bit of a hold, and then it should be done. And then add just a little tad more glue to that. that we can dot that one around. And stick that down too. And that is that. Now I did have another little thought when if I bring in the card that I kind of made first, I sort of stuck these flowers on it. So that was my thought, that I could stick a few flowers on. So I'll show you how I made those flowers. So I used our set of 4 flower punch, so 3 flower punches, and then we've got some leaves and some centres of the flowers. And so I'm using powder pink and berry burst, because that brings out those flowers there. So I did 1 each of those and 1 each of these. Oh, I don't know where that was gone. There we go. And then I did the opposite middles, so we want 3 of these. And 3 of these. And we don't need the leaves because we've already got the florals there. Okay, and what I did to give, so I don't need that, what I did, so that's a good use for all these little scraps, those little circles and leaves. So what I did was, I've got this thick bit of foam. This is what came out of the holder for all my acrylic blocks. And you can get big fat round styluses to do this. I just used the back of this. Watched Petals do this. And I just go round in a circle, and it brings the flower up like that. Can you see? So you get a nice flower like that. Sits it up. I like that effect. So that's what I did. With all of these. And what you're doing is you're stretching the fibres in the middle of the cardstock and bringing it up like so. That one's not cut very well. And I stuck the circles in the middle. But I am actually thinking I'm going to put, because this is a special card, I actually might just put some pearls in the middle of this one. There, I'm going to keep it with 5 actually, so it doesn't matter about the other one not working. So you could just, as I say, stick the centres on, but I'm going to do some pearls because it's a special occasion, isn't it? So let me get me, yeah, so I'm going to use the bigger pearls and put those in the centre of the flowers, because because I think that'll be pretty. Wrong. Right, so then we're going to get glue dots. Just stick these in place. One down there. And that's it. That was my little idea for them flowers. So that is my Mother's Day card for my mother-in-law. So yeah, hope you like it. All the details will be on my blog, nigezza.co.uk, and please, I will put a link there to the InspireINK blog hop, and please go and hop around and see everybody else's ideas and get inspired for the special woman in your life, your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, whoever you want to give it to. Okay, see you again soon. Bye for now.